added to my star-studded team. Far end, the boy is back.
What's going on?
James Jones, what up, baby? What up, baby? NFL veteran, 9 years, got a Super Bowl in his own right, played with Aaron Rodgers. Glad to have you. How you living?
I'm living the dream, baby.
My dog, it's good to see you.
So we can't talk bad about A-Rod today. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to argue with you. That's all. What up, Slick?
Fair, strong here.
There it is.
Watch out. Watch out.
There it is.
Shady, I will warn you, they do a whole call and response thing with the Bay Area.
Get it.
Eagles all-time rushing leader, LeSean Shady McCoy. He needs no introduction. Let's get right to it. 2-5 already introduced the viewer to Cleveland Browns, to Aaron Rodgers, to Deshaun Watson, to the New York Jets. Who is under more pressure this season? Is it Deshaun, who has $230 million fully guaranteed, or is it Aaron Rodgers, a future first ballot Hall of Famer?
I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. I think the easier one would be, A-Rod, the bigger name, the bigger resume, bad Giant or Jets team, now he's here. But I'm going to go with Deshaun. I mean, I think that Deshaun's a younger player, so they expect Deshaun to play a lot longer, where A-Rod, 2 years, the most 3, if that, and Deshaun has a fully guaranteed contract. Yep. We watched Lamar Jackson go through hell to get that $230 million contract, and they gave it to Deshaun Watson. You'll be the hero. You're going to save the day for us. So I look at Deshaun because he's looking to come to the Browns to save the Browns. Every year you always talk about how the Browns, all they need is a quarterback, right? I mean, they were parading around Baker Mayfield because he took them to the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And even though he was like the last part to that, but he still took them there. Where Deshaun Watson, he's a superstar. I mean, you look at his resume, right? He played with some bad teams, but he was the only shining star they had. So I'm going to Deshaun Watson.
For me, when they broke the news and said Aaron Rodgers to the New York Football Jets,
Your
right?
boy.
Everybody said Super Bowl, right? This Super Bowl contender, right? With Aaron Rodgers on the roster, the defense that they had, the pieces they added this year. Oh, wait, we're going to give you the other couple pieces that you like, right? Alan Lazard, the Randall Cobb. You know what? Before we do all that, we're going to make sure we're going to have this set up the right way and bring your offensive coordinator in here. That was the offensive coordinator at the Denver Broncos, head coach at the Denver Broncos. We're going to bring him in there before we even get you here, so we got it all ironed out for you, right? Right. The pressure is on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, period. People are picking them to win the Super Bowl. All right, it ain't no pressure on me, Shay. They could cut me tomorrow. You gave me 250 M's guaranteed. I ain't worried about it. It ain't no pressure what Deshaun Watson does. Number 2, nobody's expecting Deshaun Watson to take this team to the Super Bowl. You talking to Joey B's, you talking to Patty Mahomes, they even talking to Justin Herbert's, you know? But for Aaron Rodgers, they are talking Super Bowl or bust up there.
But Jay,
you are the missing piece.
I gotta cut you off though, Jay, because let's not allow Deshaun Watson to lower the bar for us and then watch him jump over a lower bar. Remember who Deshaun Watson is. Remember who he was.
There you go.
He led the entire National Football League in passing yards the last time we saw him play a full season. It didn't amount to anything. They went 4-12, the Houston Texans did. Remember who the Cleveland Browns were right before Deshaun Watson. While Deshaun was simultaneously leading the league in passing yards, the Cleveland Browns had a Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski, that year. They went 11-5. With Baker Mayfield, they won a playoff game. With Baker Mayfield, they won a playoff game. So what the Browns were thinking, well, if we add one of the best quarterbacks in football, a top 5 quarterback at the time, to one of the best teams in football, the Cleveland Browns, then that is Super Bowl as well. Not to mention, we have a coach who just won Coach of the Year. The reason I cut you off, James, is because we got to remember the Cleveland Browns were an 11-5 football team with Baker Mayfield, led by a Coach of the Year who didn't have a quarterback. Insert quarterback, then the Cleveland Browns, in theory, are supposed to be what we are all claiming the Jets are supposed to be, Slick. I think Deshaun has pressure, like Shady said, as well.
I got a question for both of you two real quick.
Yes, sir.
Both of these teams right here, both these quarterbacks stay healthy. Both of these teams finish the season 6-11. Who getting talked about the most?
Rodgers.
Why?
The bigger name.
Because the most pressure is on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. This is, if the New York Jets and Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers don't get to the playoffs and make a deep run in the playoffs, they could be looking at new coach. Right? The pressure is on the Jets to make sure this thing
slick in there, good slick in there.
How many times have we talked about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns on this show? On this show.
Not enough. I can't give you time,
How many times have we talked about New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers?
Just about every day.
Constantly since he went to New York. Which is the bigger market, right?
Of course, for sure.
Which one has the bigger expectations? And let's not forget. Okay, yeah, Deshaun Watson is making nice bank, but it's guaranteed bank. Aaron Rodgers isn't exactly scuffing along at $50 million per.
Not at all.
He's nice.
And he's the guy who's the 2-time MVP. Yeah. So I'm looking at it, and I don't know. This is the thing. Whether you think it's make the playoffs and win a playoff game or it's go to the Super Bowl, whatever, there's a certain parameter for what is expected from the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know what's expected from the Cleveland Browns. I don't know where the bar is set. You said that he lowered the bar. Yes, they got him and thought they were building a Super Bowl team because of the talent that they had when he got there, right?
They thought it was built.
Okay.
They thought it was built.
But then
They got a lot of talent. A lot of talent over there.
But then,
on both sides of the ball.
Okay, but then Cleveland, the Browns did what the Browns always do. Somehow it comes apart.
The reason why I think that Deshaun Watson played so bad last year that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No.
You're putting last year on him.
But
Whoa.
He played half the season.
When we watched him play, right? He looked bad.
Very bad.
Sure.
Very bad.
So I think that's why we're tricking ourselves. There's no pressure on him. Deshaun Watson was a mother. He was a beast.
Say what you need to say.
3 years in a row, Pro Bowls. Let the league and passing yards. Like Deshaun Watson is that guy. Let's not misconstrue that a little bit.
I agree with what you're saying.
It's just so recently we watched him play. He looked bad.
Yep.
So we kind of drop in his level where he should be at. Nah, Deshaun Watson one of these dudes. I remember when we played at 19, won a championship with the Chiefs.
Yep.
And we played against the Texans.
Yep.
He was on fire. Bang. Now we came back and won the game. We was like, damn, this dude is for real. So for let's put some more respect on his name a little bit.
For me, the Deshaun Watson bar is up here.
Come on, he like that.
The only reason why I'm saying there's no pressure is last year when we all watched him play, especially as you played the game, no training camp, then you missed 10 more games. So for me, I'm looking at it like, Watson working his way back in this thing, right? I'm with a new coach, new system, new guys, all that. I'm only able to play 5, 6
Anyone
games.
there for a while.
I'm working my way back in this thing.
Yeah.
Aaron had his worst year, played every single game. And now you're still labeled as the safe.
See, I gotta give Aaron some games. He didn't look the same, but some of that wasn't always his fault.
I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying record. I'm saying the way he looked, MVP,
numbers,
Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play his best football, and he still got everything he wanted from the Jets, going to the Jets, and he's supposed to be.
What about this, though, Slick? What about this, though, Jay? It's if you kick up all the dust in the world, like Deshaun Watson did on the field. Remember, Deshaun Watson, before any of the accusations off the field, he wasn't trying to practice. He was holding in. Remember, he was
trying to get out of there.
He was trying to get out of there. If you do all that to get out of there, you better go deliver. Remember what Jalen Ramsey did in Jacksonville? Jalen Ramsey had a back, had a hamstring, missed a practice here, missed a practice there.
I ain't playing.
He went to Los Angeles, was an all-pro couple times, and like Shady is holding up that ring finger for no coincidental reason, Jalen Ramsey got himself a ring. And then he dipped out of L.A., and he's gone to Miami. Jalen Ramsey, he kicked up dust in Jacksonville, got to L.A., got a $100 million deal, highest in the history for a cornerback, and he delivered in the most maximal way. A #1 defense while he was in Los Angeles, and he won a championship.
Good point.
Deshaun Watson, in my mind, has to do a similar thing. He kicked up dust in Houston. Again, I'm exclusively talking about on the field. He kicked up dust in Houston. He went to Cleveland. If you go to Cleveland and get the highest paid money in the history of the position, I need to see you deliver in a similar fashion.
Okay, but he wasn't, when he kicked up dust, it was to get out of
Houston. Yes,
right?
sir.
You get out of there.
It wasn't necessarily to go to Cleveland.
Sure.
He ended up going to Cleveland because he couldn't turn down the money. You guys are going to give me what?
That's how it worked. That's how it normally works.
Understood. But it kind of changes the dynamic of, I can't get it done in Houston. I'm going someplace to get it done. Oh, wait a minute. Cleveland? You're paying me that much? The reason that he left and went to Cleveland shifted a little bit. And by the way, he wasn't the only one kicking up dust. Didn't Aaron Rodgers? Isn't he under the same, and didn't he pick specifically the Jets is where I want to go? Sure. So I don't see any more pressure on Deshaun as a result of how he got to Cleveland.
What's wrong with Cleveland?
Than how Aaron got to New York.
That's a good team. That's a talented team.
Now it is a talented team now, and yet, historically, what's wrong with Cleveland?
I'm just saying, playing for them right now, this year or last year, that team is a really, really good team.
They've had really good
both sides of the ball.
Good teams and expectations before, and have never lived up to them.
I think
the quarterback. It's the quarterback.
You guys hit on it.
Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson, that's a huge upgrade.
You guys hit on it. early, y'all first time y'all touched on it, y'all hit it on the nose. You see that dude right there? Look behind you. And then look at the dude in the green helmet. You see that gray on the chin? Mm-hmm. He don't have time.
Yeah.
He don't have time. He got a little bit more time than him. He got a little less time. It's pressure. It's time to go get Super Bowl #2 right now.
Let me ask you this. As we talk about this, what's more fascinating to me, and I recall being asked, if you're ever having a hard time delineating a situation, ask yourself, like, who would you rather be? If you're watching a fight, right, and you don't know who's going to win on the scorecard, ask yourself, hey, which fighter would you rather be?
Ask me.
So, Shady, let me ask you, who's more likely to succeed? Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers? We've talked pressure, but who do you think is more likely to have success this season?
You know, even though I truly think that the Browns' offense is better than the Jets' offense.
Team-wise. You talking team?
I mean, yeah. This is what I see. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with A-Rod though. I think A-Rod is the better quarterback. I think he's more proven. I think he has something to prove too. Mm-hmm. And it's a different A-Rod. I never seen, and you played with him, but I never seen A-Rod just coming to camp, being cool to all the guys. I watched him all last year talk bad about all the young wide receivers.
It's a different mode.
Now you're over there, it's like he want to be there. And I remember myself from playing with the Eagles, loving the Eagles, to going to the Bills. It was like, I don't want to be here, but they want me here. They happy to see me here. I'm happy to be here. You know? And we played better, so I'm going to go with A-Rod for that case right there.
I mean, you guys already know who I'm going with. I'm going with my guy. And the main reason is I have not played with Deshaun Watson. I'm a fan of Watson. Watson is a heck of a quarterback. We know that.
Watson good.
But every time AR8, it was AR12, but every time AR8 stepped in the huddle, I'm like, he going to make the right play. That's just how we felt. I don't care what the score looking like. I don't care what it is.
I'm joking.
He gonna make the right play. Even in the playoffs, we might have lost or whatnot, but when he came in there,
he said it up for me.
But when he came in there and he said, hey, check it here, strong right, we like, he gonna make the right play.
It's time.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just feel like as a quarterback, AR8 is the better quarterback. He gonna make the Jets.
What about the fact, though, Jay, last year so many times he made the wrong play? You recall, I'm sure you watched all his games. Detroit Lions, throwback pass. You throw it short. You try to throw it back, I believe, to a tackle. You throw it short, Aiden Hutchinson, rookie interception. Last game of the season versus the Detroit Lions, I think maybe he was trying to throw a dig or some pass in there, gets intercepted. More often, I usually agree with you. But last year, we saw Aaron Rodgers make the wrong play time and time again. You still have that same confidence.
Well, I mean, if I'm on this show with you and you had 3-4 bad shows, I say, Acho's still my dude, man. He's still like that on the TV. That's how I feel about 12. Even if it's a wrong play coming up, when he step in that huddle again, I'm looking at him because I done seen it so many times. You know what I'm saying? Year after year, play after play, he going to get the job done.
Very well said.
And that's why you hear the comments last time we was on the show of how them Jets players talking, because they see him, you know?
I'm going with Deshaun Watson. Whether it's individual statistics or it's team success, I think we are sleeping on the Cleveland Browns and their ability, and maybe we are overhyping the New York Jets just a little bit. Because to Shady's point, the offensive weapons that he has around him, like the New York Jets might have similar talent, but it is not proven. It's
not proven.
Amari Cooper is proven. Chubb is proven. And
is proven.
we have forgotten just how good Deshaun Watson is. Now, hearing you guys initially, I think you haven't totally forgotten it. But the year that Aaron won MVP in 2020, which was the last full year that Deshaun played, their numbers are incredibly comparable. He was right there and actually threw for more yards.
That 48.5 looked good, though.
48.5.
My God. That's like Madden right there. Come on, 48.5?
That is crazy.
So you're giving me Deshaun Watson at age 27, who's already been in Cleveland for a year to get familiar, as opposed to Aaron, who's still going to have to, find his way in New York with new pieces, right? The defense in New York is better, but Cleveland's defense is no joke. I think they will be better this year.
Got guys.
The offense is more proven, and normally I would say, well, yeah, but the AFC North. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, the AFC East is going to be a beast too. And if you look at the Jets' schedule coming out of the gate, I really think that things are stacked against the Jets, and we're talking about them like normally you'd look at it and go, There's no chance. Jets are going to be better than the Browns. I mean, come on.
I mean, Browns.
But
it's-
I think if you take a deeper dive, it looks a little bit different.
Well, we will take a deep dive into one of the most intriguing relationships in all of sports.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.